Hey everybody, this is Will, Five Guys, Movies and Fries, podcast where five boys watch movies and talk about them. I'm joined by Knack,
Hello.
Jeff,
Cheerio.
Joe,
Hey, how's it going?
and like I said, I'm Will. Tonight we're talking about Kingsman, The Secret Service, a 2014 spy action movie that is silly and crazy. We're going to start off our initial thoughts with Knack. What do you got for us, man?
Yeah, I wasn't entirely on board watching this movie because I'd never seen it before. Even though after watching it, it does very much come off as a goofy, silly kind of love letter to old spy films, as the film sort of peppers at you here and there. I wasn't a fan of some of the visual effects. The opening shot was pretty awful. The opening shot of that architecture,
The rubble.
It's oh my god!
I'm sorry, you didn't like the rubble turning into the letters for the credits.
If even just not aside from the rubble, it's just the look of the architecture itself looks like it came out of a fucking Bethesda engine. I could not.
Bad.
Yeah, but
And they felt so clever when they did that too.
Sure, yeah. But the movie had some silly, humorous moments to it. I just liked the tie-ins to, because I'm a fan of the Bond series. I love the Bond films, the old ones, new ones, whatever.
Hell yeah.
So I liked all the nods to that, and other than that, some of the characters were somewhat likable, and some of them really weren't. But there was it was a decent time. I had an okay time getting. I felt like I had more fun through the second half of that movie than the first half.
Sure.
But overall, it was pretty well enjoyed. There's clearly some problematic stuff that I'll probably pepper in as we continue the conversation. But
like what?
I'm glad it.
Nothing to do with the Southern Baptist Church, right? Jesus.
It had a stacked cast, even though that didn't really, if we have a stacked cast, you kind of need some stacked writing to match it.
True.
Like, I mean, I've seen a lot of these actors in other movies that are just 10 times better. So, I do like seeing Ralph Ineson pop up here and there. If anybody recognized him as the cop who who was interrogating Eggsy around the beginning before Harry lets him out.
One of the most recognizable voices on the planet.
Period. Yeah. No, you didn't have to be on screen. You recognize that voice from a mile away, but I was happy to see him. Yeah. I don't have a whole lot else on my initial thoughts other than what I've gone over, so I'll pass the torch to Jeff.
No, I think I'm next, actually.
Oh, really? Joe's next. Yup.
Yeah.
Oh, well then, okay. I'm
He tries to pass to Ort.
Well, I wrote it. I wrote Jeff next, but it's fine.
Oh.
It's fine.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I went into this. The only thing I knew is that it was about Rasputin, the wizard, takes place in the 20s, Franz Ferdinand, all those old people. It's sort of a send up, and it wasn't that. The movie was not what I thought it was going to be, and that's the movie's fault as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, it definitely is. You're not wrong.
Going into it, I had different expectations, and I was let down even by the movie. A big-time Anglophile. I love everything British. Sherlock Holmes, Dracula. Not Bond as much, but... So this is just an affront onto so much of what I love. This movie is... When Martin Scorsese says modern movies are like theme park rides and they're not cinema, this is exactly what he's talking about. The writing is so bad. It's not funny. It's not clever. It's not even naughty. It wants to be naughty, but it's not. It's just.
You didn't like it when the guy says this whiskey is amazing, you will shit. That's not good writing for you, Joe. That's not doing it.
That was that line was, honest to God, the one laugh this movie got out of me.
Yeah, it made me chuckle. It did make me chuckle just because it was so terrible.
I've seen that actor once before. He was in Snatch. He's in the movie Snatch.
Yeah,
That
Matthew
makes
Vaughn.
sense because Matthew Vaughn is connected to Guy Ritchie, produced a lot of his stuff. Really
Okay.
wants to be him, you can tell.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Lock, Stock, and lot good stuff on his list. Good stuff on his production.
He's got a big resume. I think he was involved in some X-Men movies as well.
Yeah, First Class, which I don't know, I liked. I thought that was
First Class kicked ass. I like that movie.
and Kick-Ass as well, which he did.
That's true.
And Stardust, which is also a great movie. No, nobody likes Stardust here. Okay. Well.
Yo, fuck Stardust. Never seen it. I've never seen it.
I can't speak to too much of the other stuff that he's done. I'm not a huge fan of the X-Men and the Guy Ritchie stuff, but I know they're decent. But this is just schlock. It's hog slop. It's made for 14-year-old Redditors.
Yeah.
Max Landis, specifically Max Landis. It's juvenile hero fantasy stuff. It's just embarrassing. I hate it. The score is really annoying as well.
Yeah.
Everything
wasn't
about
great,
it is
yeah.
so cliched.
Yeah, I didn't like the score much in this movie. It was kind of rough.
What do you got? What do you got, Jeff?
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not far behind you. I remember liking this movie the first time that I watched it, but I think what really happened was I saw that whole action scene in the church, which I actually still enjoyed on this watch through.
Oh, phenomenal action scene.
I think I just overlapped that over the entire movie. And watching it this time, I didn't see it through that lens, and I hated 90% of this movie. It was so hard not to just fuck around on my phone and not even take notes the entire time I was watching it. Dude, even the bit at the end, like, it's all so cringe. And then you get to the end and she's like, if you save the world, I'll let you do it in my asshole. I'm like, bro, like a 15-year-old wrote this script, in math class when he was bored. I just...
That joke is garbage.
And listen,
maybe one of the lamest fucking jokes ever.
This movie holds up to no scrutiny. Look, I don't want to nitpick. I try not to nitpick. I've been trying to get out of that habit. But, like, listen, this movie doesn't hold up at all when you look at it through any lens. Like, all of a sudden, he's just like this action hero because he had, 3 weeks of training in this camp that we barely even see, by the way. Like, we get, a couple tests and then some people breathe out of a toilet, and that's the entirety of his training. And now he's, doing ninja flips across hallways and shit over people in the middle of gun battle like it's nothing.
No, he was a gymnast, man. So he knows fucking karate because of it.
Yeah, sure.
He's the chosen boy. He's the special boy who gets chosen.
He's got to be the chosen boy.
Yeah, there was no clever twist. There was no. Yeah, like Joe said, it's all very cookie cutter, man. It's super cookie cutter in a way that I just hated. I hated the product placement. I hated Sam Jackson's dumb fucking lisp.
Oh God.
I read that his lisp was something Sam L wanted to bring in as part of his child, as he had a stutter when he was a kid. But it's also it's not to say it's a good or it is a pretty bad thing, but almost every Bond villain has a facial disfigurement, and they replaced it with a speech impediment with this villain. It's kind of how I see that. It's a nod to Bond or some weird shit, but it doesn't. It was a choice. It was a poor choice.
It was a bad decision. It was a poor decision. Yeah, he's scared of blood and shit. He's if I see a drop of blood, I puke. And then at the end of the movie, he sees a drop of blood and pukes. But when Galahad comes out of the church, that dude is hosed. He's hosed in blood. And then the dude just shoots him in the head out of fucking nowhere. Didn't have one of his other people do it. Dude, this movie's bad, man. I was frustrated after I watched this movie, dude. I really was. I can't believe there's sequels.
There's so many sequels too, and they're making even more.
Two. I thought there was only 2 other movies.
No, there's 4 movies, dude, and they're making a 5th one.
I can't. If this movie is this bad, I cannot imagine how bad. We saw the trailer for the one with Rasputin and shit in it, and I can't imagine what a fucking piss swill that movie is.
The second movie is way worse. I've seen that, and then I haven't seen any more. But I'm sure they're not better.
For real, ugh. But yeah, that's what I got starting off here.
Shit. Yeah, no. Yeah, I didn't think this movie was that great on this rewatch. I remember when I originally watched it, I was like, okay, this is like a good classic action spy film, right? And honestly, on this watch, I pretty much felt the same. But I didn't come into it with like that critical of an eye or anything because that's what I was expecting, right? I'm like, this is going to be like a Fast and the Furious, probably going to be pretty garbagey, but there's going to be some cool action scenes. There might be a couple one-liners, whatever. I can turn my brain off and just enjoy, the ride, much like Martin Scorsese would hate. But also fuck Martin Scorsese because I don't have to follow his rules. So. Yeah, I don't know, man. I have to say, like, the ultra violence in this movie, pretty fucking well done. The bar scene is fucking great. The whole fight scene in there is awesome. The fight scene, obviously, at the church is like top tier. That's like widely considered one of the best action sequences ever made, for a reason, because it's really fucking good. Colin Firth is like super fucking charming in this movie, and he kind of makes the movie, like the first half of the movie, for me at least.
Yeah, I can agree there. I like Colin Firth.
Yeah,
he's so debonair and charming as Harry Hart.
I feel like they could have. I feel like they could have given Mark Strong some better writing.
Yes, it sucks too because Mark Strong's fucking awesome. So like seeing him have such weak writing and even be like kind of a weak seeming character was kind of rough because he just does. He's Mark Strong.
Yeah.
Corny, but also he just plays like, stronger characters better in my opinion. But yeah, I don't know. Other than those couple of awesome action sequences, other than that, this movie was pretty meh, pretty boring.
Did you like the action sequence at the end? Were you about that?
Which one?
Like the big set piece at the end of the movie? Where he's like fighting his way through the hallway and shit. Were you down with that?
I thought it was fine. Yeah, I didn't have any problem with that. Did you have a problem with that scene?
I was gonna say just one scene that actually looked like it was shot decently and kind of physically, the production of it was pretty good. Was the underwater scene? Was the Lou snorkel scene? Like seeing
that was good. Yeah.
I thought it was shot decently. It looked like whether all those actors were actually submerged in water or not, it was still pretty convincing, and I just liked the way it looked.
Listen,
throwing that in there.
I get behind that.
I can't imagine somebody punching their way through that gargantuan piece of glass while submerged in water.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't buy that. I don't buy that at all.
Shit in the entire movie, but
yeah, and well, that's what I was saying. Like, I came into this movie not expecting anything to make sense, so maybe that's just like we're coming at it from completely different angles because this is not a kind, like you said, like you put this movie under any kind of scrutiny and it's not going to hold up at all.
Listen, my favorite.
The same could be said about the Fast and the Furious movies, and those make cajillions of dollars, and they're fucking awesome to watch because they're super fun and nonsense. So
I like when an action spy movie is like clever in how it does its set pieces. You know what I mean? When it all makes sense in universe, anyways. You know what I'm saying? Or like we see like something set up and then pay off towards the end of the fight or some shit like that. We don't see that in this movie at all, really, at all.
Yeah, this movie does not do that.
Yeah, there's no setup, there's no setups, there's no payoffs. It's just like beat to beat to beat to beat so we can get to the next fucking action set piece. It drags like a motherfucker in the middle.
It does. It fucking really does. And the end is pretty weak in my opinion. Like the very end is pretty weak. I didn't much care for the way it kind of ends. Although I do like the stylistic choice with like the fireworks when everybody's heads are popping off. I thought that was pretty well done.
I mean, it makes sense because Valentine is afraid of blood. So he thought about that as I figured he thought about that when he was making a decision on the explosive part of those chips because he can't stand.
Even that isn't consistent though, because when during that scene where everybody's heads are popping and turn into fireworks, we also we get a cutaway to like, I think it might be the Amsterdam or Holland or whatever. The minister, we see his head blow up, and there's like blood. There's no fireworks.
So I think the fireworks were just stylistic. I don't think those were actually like real fireworks, because there's like certain points where you can see them like popping off of the screen and shit almost. You know what I mean? Like
this movie felt like it should have been in like the Scary Movie universe. Do you know what I'm saying? Like this,
hell yeah.
this movie felt like parody. Like it just, oh.
Well, it is based on a comic book, so I mean, there you go.
Even still, like that's not an excuse for poor writing.
No, you're not wrong, but you got to remember the first few comic book movies we got, you know, when they like were kind of popping off early 2000s, were pretty garbagey like that too, you know.
Well, like listen,
I'm not trying to come up with excuses for this movie. This movie is just bad.
This is from 2014.
Oh yeah. But it feels of that era kind of, you know what I'm saying? Like that kind of 2000s like garbagey comic book action schlock shit.
When did fucking the first Hulk movie with Eric Bana come out?
Like
2008.
Okay. So that movie, in the way that it's shot and put together, is also hella hammy and corny. But I feel like the writing isn't terrible there, and it feels like it's made with love. You know what I'm saying? It feels like it's made with somebody who like cares about how the movie comes out, regardless of whether or not he hit or misses. Kingsman feels like 5 frat boys who watch some Bond movies in a fucking writer's room, and they're like, yeah, what if she says he could fuck her in the ass if he saves the world? Fuck. They high-five each other, they fucking smack ass, and then they go out and film it.
Yeah, nice, bro, nice.
Fucking.
You were right, Joe. Hulk is 2003.
2003?
I was thinking of the Ang Lee one, right?
Ang Lee, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. 2003, yep.
Yeah, that's pretty much all I got, though. This movie's not very good at all.
Oh, I was really hoping you loved it.
I mean, I didn't love it when I first watched it. I was like, this is like a fine action movie, and I love these couple of like action sequences in it. And I still do. I still do love those action sequences. I really do think that church scene is unbelievable.
I would give credit to it for basically everything you said. The church scene, even though I hate the choice of Freebird, it's just so cliched.
I love it.
Southern Baptist church,
man.
bro. Gotta have that Freebird.
Like, I'm telling you, it's like it came straight out of someone's diary. Like it's fucking. I like the Freebird. I like that whole church scene. I could just, if you took that scene and removed it from the rest of this movie, I would be kosher with that.
Yes.
It's so stupid though when he says, you know, I've got a gay black Jewish boyfriend, and she just stands there, mouth agape, like a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It's like she would start screaming. She's not. I just don't believe it.
Yeah.
Bad writing.
Yeah, that's what I'm telling. It's just like. It just fucking meanders its way from set piece to set piece. No one's fucking likable, dude. Like, we're supposed to give a shit about what happens with fucking Egbert's mom, and like his mom is just a skis. Like his mom just sucks.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Even the baby, I was like, I mean,
this movie does not care for women. It feels like at all. Like his mom is like just straight running trains and like supporting this dude who's kicking the shit out of her kid, or out of one of her kids. Like, I don't know.
The second thing in my notes is that when dude dies and he goes to like talk to her, like kid's mom, and he's like talking to her, and then she just like is like, but I want my husband back, and starts crying, and he just ignores her and walks away to start talking to the kid. I was like, Jesus Christ.
He's like, this woman is hysterical. I'm gonna go talk to this child instead.
Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to the kid who's a man, so he's way more, level-headed.
Fucking so wild. Dude.
So bad, wild. Dude. So bad. Oh, hey, Mark Hamill was in this movie for a few minutes. That was cool.
Yeah. They dragged poor Michael Caine into this fucking movie. Like,
yeah, Michael Caine wasn't even like that good in this movie, and it's fucking Michael Caine.
God, what a waste of talent.
That's what I'm saying. Like, just about every big name in this movie has been in 10 times, but like every other movie they've done is pretty much better than this
10 times, a million times.
I'd like to say that about Taron Egerton, but I don't think I've seen him in anything else. So,
dude, why did they serve my man McDonald's when they had him over for dinner? What is the purpose? What is the purpose of the McDonald's? I feel like if we can understand why they made that choice, it unlocks the rest of the movie. Like,
I feel like that's a reference to Trump.
No, this came out pre-Trump.
Yeah, but what? Okay, hold on a second, friend. What the fuck does that sentence even mean? Okay, pre-Trump, that motherfucker's
Well, I
been in
guess
the limelight for like 30 years now, bro.
pre-Trump presidency.
Yeah, but he was like doing fucking McDonald's. Well, I suppose no, because I'm pretty sure on The Apprentice he fucking gave out McDonald's to people in a couple episodes.
Yo,
It's like his
but he's like
fucking fancy meal.
He's like tech bro though. He feels much more tech bro. Sam Jackson's character.
True,
Like I'm
true.
pretty sure he calls Elon Musk at the end of the movie.
That is who he calls. Yeah,
yeah.
E-Man. Yeah,
It's V. Yeah, right.
Yeah, he's like E-Man, it's V-Man.
This movie is so fucking bad. The writing in this movie is so bad.
Dude, just poor, bro. Just poor.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know. It feels like a fever dream. I don't ever want to watch this movie again.
Well, if anybody else have anything else they'd like to throw in the ring on this one?
No, let's be done with it.
Yeah, let's just.
Yeah, all right. Yeah.
No, go ahead, Mac. What do you got?
There was one note I made about it's the bar scene where Harry's trying to like initiate Eggsy into the Kingsman, and he asks the boys to like let him finish his Guinness, and then the fight goes on. He sits back down, and you see on the windowsill there's a little advertising sign for Guinness that says Guinness for strength, and you see the guy just holding like a steel plank with a Guinness in his hand. I don't know where I'm going with this. I don't know why I'm even mentioning it, but
no,
it's just the fact that Harry drank Guinness, made him strong. That's
no, you're right to catch that because this movie has product placement all the fuck over it, but it doesn't feel like it's a statement. And if it is a statement, it's very poorly introduced into the movie. I was like thinking about that fucking McDonald's scene, and I was like, maybe the idea is that he knows that he's a Kingsman, so he's like trying to
shittiest food.
Yeah, he's like trying to like make a statement by getting fucking McDonald's. But that feels smarter than the movie. I feel like I'm reading that.
Way too much credit. Way too much credit.
I feel like I'm reading that movie. Like I just. Oh shit!
It is bad.
It's almost like Truman Show of fucking product placement.
All right,
Mac and me product placement.
Yeah, I'll take that Big Mac with a 62
I love how
Riesling.
he like says like, and try a Twinkie with a. So stupid, dude.
Fuck out.
Oh my god.
Dude, this woman walking around with just like blade legs out in public. She's just hanging out with fucking blade legs.
Because remember, she did have like a skirt on that covered them up that she rips off in that one scene, but then later doesn't seem to care anymore. I don't know. There's no consistency.
I didn't even catch that. I thought she was on blade legs the entire time. I didn't even fucking catch that.
She is on blade legs. She's just concealing them under this.
She had like a long skirt or something.
When the governor or the prime minister fucking leaves or whatever.
I don't know. I thought the blade legs was pretty cool.
Is it, dude? Maybe this movie's just trying to dunk on America. Maybe that's their idea of what Americans are.
They were like, stupid Americans will love this movie, and they were right.
Like, again, I feel like that's reading too much into it, but it definitely feels that way. Like we have like one American in the movie, and he's the villain.
yeah. No, this movie was just a quick and clever way for Matthew Vaughn to just pour a bunch of money into himself, without it being illegal. So through product placement and shit like that. Well, Mac, why don't you give us your rating?
This was a 3 out of 10.
Ooh.
Easy 3.
That might be the lowest.
3 out of 10. That's probably the lowest I've given any of our movies. Could be.
Yeah.
I'm proud to have.
No, wait, we had a round where we all had donuts, didn't we? Didn't we all give donuts to? No, never mind. We had one donut for Matrix Resurrection.
Yeah.
Even I still gave that like a 4.
Joe, what's your
Jeff,
rating?
You got to give yours.
No.
Oh, I got to give mine.
Let's switch up the order.
Oh, goddamn it! Yeah.
For me, this is an easy 0 out of 10.
Ooh, it is.
Nothing of value in this. Yeah, it's interesting to watch just to see how the other half lives, how Flyover America You know, the young Sheldon crowd, CSI, NCIS, all those people. Looking down from my ivory tower. No, this was fascinating. And it's a perfect 0. It's perfectly mid.
Don't forget the quote that Colin Firth gives Joe about being more noble than everybody else.
This is not that kind of podcast.
Ah, clever girl.
Anyway.
Yeah, this is like a 2 out of 10 for me. I'd probably also give it a donut if it didn't have that fucking church.
So that's what I was
scene
going to ask. If taking just the church scene, and for Joe, we'll take out Freebird out of the church scene. 10 out of 10. You don't think that church scene is a 10 out of 10 action scene?
Oh, I thought you were asking. I thought you were asking about the movie.
Take
if
that
it's
out.
removed.
Like we just have that action scene. 10 out of 10 action scene.
Well done. Sure.
Yeah, if somebody just uploaded that to YouTube and I could just you know what I mean? I mean, yeah, I do that for sure. I'm just saying, like, if the rest of the movie had never existed and somebody had just uploaded that to YouTube,
I was going to say, if the rest
and
of the movie had
shit.
leaned more into some of the more absurdist stuff I found in that church scene, like the fucking the dummy doll that just gets rammed into the altar and fucking folds up on itself, and then there's no post-explosion graphics anywhere. Like we see the explosion happen, and then we see another scene where the body is just crumpled up against the altar, and there's no dust, there's no debris. It's just poor editing. Anyway. I remember you showing me that church scene years ago and blowing it
and being like,
up.
"You got to see this shit, man."
And I was like, "What the hell am I fucking watching?" Like, but if the movie had taken more turns into just pure absurdism, which I'm all about Garth Marenghi and Danger 5 absurdism, but this movie didn't want to lean in any direction that it held to.
If the movie was just a bunch of that, it'd probably be like a pretty banger of a movie.
It might have been a 5. It might have been a 5 for me, but
it'd be more like like the other Matthew Vaughn movies too, because that's like Lock, Stock, Two Smoking Barrels and shit. Like
I love watching those movies. Period.
Like those movies. I mean, like those movies are like that. Like they're just a bunch of that absurd ass action shit. So, but I'm gonna give it a let's go 4 out of 10. I don't know. I'd watch this movie again, but mostly just for those action scenes. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah,
just watch those. Whose rec we got next? Joe's?
Pipe.
All right, so I never want to talk about this movie again. I flip-flopped between 2 different movies, and I'm going with the one I'm going with because there is a young Michael Caine in it. So... Again, we're not going to talk about the Kingsman in the context of this movie ever.
I'm almost going to guess what you're pitching.
You can shoot, yeah.
The Mechanic?
No.
Okay.
I'll look that up later, but it's not that. So it's a personal rec. It's in my Letterboxd top 4, and I'm going to tell you everything you need to know about it. Don't do any Googling. Go in completely blind. It's called Sleuth, and it's from 1972. And if you've heard the name, they did remake it in 2007. It's not the 2007 version. It's from 1972.
Cool.
It's in the murder mystery genre, so that's why I'm prefacing it, not to look up anything. It runs 2 hours, 20 minutes, stars Laurence Olivier, and as I said, a fresh-faced, baby-faced Michael Caine at age 39. And... the other thing you need to know about it is that you're not going to find it in high quality. And we'll talk about this when we talk about the movie. The rights to this movie are sort of in limbo, so it hasn't been officially released on Blu-ray or even DVD. You can find it on YouTube. You can find it places on the internet, but it's in pretty bad quality.
Damn. Okay.
It's pretty hard to find, and not a lot of people know about it. And I kind of like that for this movie, and we'll talk about why I like that. But that's all you need to know.
Okay.
Very nice.
It's a very good movie.